We've got only 5 more days until January. First of all, it's basically Christmas. And around this time every year, technically speaking, the wave of new games becomes almost a phantom. Nonetheless, we are to cover that as always as best we can. And here's actually 20 more new games that you can pick up right now for your Android and iOS as well. Available on TapTap and unofficially, just make sure to use the links down in the description. Driftopia, which was actually revealed last month, was released on the Play Store earlier today and it was taken down. First of all, it's the final form of this finished game that was released early in beta and it plays much better than the first release. The game, in case you have no idea what we're talking about, is a survival sandbox third-person shooter which is set on Earth only way further in time, and the world is filled with just islands. It has a similar feel to the Avatar game that was released recently, and the whole thing is about 1 GB in total. Coming up behind that at number 2, we have a pretty realistic bike racing sim here from a new developer in town with over 10,000 downloads and a 5 out of 5 since yesterday. If you're into first-person view racing games, I actually cannot recommend this game enough if I wanted to. It has great graphics, many stages and obstacles, upgrades and bikes for just 200 megabytes of storage requirement, which is honestly just insane. 10 out of 10 recommended if you're into non-stop high-speed action. For just 70 megabytes on the Play Store, twice that size on the Apple Store. At number 3, we have another offline but stunt racing game from the famous developers of the GT Beat Racing. That's actually the best low poly style mobile game ever. Not just racing games. Car Stunt Mega Ramps over here is the folks' new work and is setting on source with a 4.8 and over 500,000 downloads as well. It plays offline, and besides that, it's a very fine-tuned, smooth game in general, the cars of which are in this specific genre unrealistic. Very long time in development. First of all, I know the graphics might suck. Number 4. On both PCs and the Play Store, we've got here finally John Mumbo, which is, as you can see, an arcade top-down shooter that takes inspiration from games like Commandos and even Contra. It's a $10 PC game that is sitting on Steam since last week and is actually free now on the Play Store. It's a linear shooting game with lots of maps, lots of different weapons and power-ups, and a few Easter eggs as well, and endings. Check it out in case you missed it. The game is about 150 megabytes in total. At number 5, honorable mention over here, as this game is by no means a new one, but recently given a patch that made it almost a new game in feel. We've got here, for those of you who missed it, Wild West Cowboy Redemption, literally inspired by the Red Dead Redemption games in everything, the shooting, walking weapons, and a ship ton of content for only 200 megabytes of storage. This game is playable offline. That is the number 1 reason why it's in the list, and it's mainly just a mission-based game as opposed to an open world. Do make sure to check this one out. Relic Looper, on the other hand, is a casual vertical platform adventure with a pretty similar gameplay to Mario. I'm pretty sure some of you remember this game. It consists of over 50 levels to complete, and if you're looking for just a simple game with no Wi-Fi connection requirements, you're looking at a very, very good one. It's free with in-app purchases, and recently it's got a patch and it's now globally available. It takes you actually less than 100 megabytes of storage. Moving on to number 7, we've got a pretty interesting new idea. An idle, low-poly action RPG, which, if it doesn't make sense, has actually been put up to the test only a few times. But considering that, these folks actually pulled that off tremendously well. Dungeon Raider is actually from a new developer over here that's really good at making low-poly stuff, and it's sitting only on the Play Store for free, a 5 out of 5 in rating, and just 1,000 downloads. Really underrated. For those of you who have missed it, Army of Tactics was released earlier in the month. It just went globally available yesterday. It's already downloaded over 100,000 times, sitting on both the Google and the App Store with a 4.5 in rating. The game is a tactical Web3 strategy halfway inspired by Clash Royale, and on the half is say Call of Dragons that was released recently. It's playable online and takes you about 400 megabytes in total. Highly recommend it if you're looking for something super addictive. If you're looking for a decent new action RPG, even though a lot of folks have been complaining about this one, Wukong M has actually been around for a couple of weeks now, and so far downloaded over 100,000 times on both the Google and the App Store. It's an action RPG reminiscent of Black Desert Online, just less official. Also, most of the action is automatic, so you just pick a class, do a tad customization, and go fight with a random team all around. Anyway, it's a free game, pretty good amongst of its own kind. There's like 10 games in this specific genre that come out every day, and the folks with this one have actually pulled it off pretty good. Last year, we actually came across this card battler or turn-based tactical RPG strategy, Gundam-inspired in looks, a game called Medabots. Very successful so far, and for that reason, a lot of folks have been copying that formula, the last of which is what we've got here, a MyBots. It's a pretty decent clone off of that. It's just a card battling, mech fighting online game, which is free on the Play Store only. Give it a shot if you could afford the 700 megabytes it's asking for. This is also how it looks. If you did go through all the 10 games that we mentioned and found nothing to your liking, I'm gonna be honest, this is over here the best thing you will ever play on your cell phones. I know what you're looking at over here is probably not to your liking, I don't know, but Fractal Space HD over here, which is playable in 4K on your cell phone if you could afford that, is actually a $3 premium game for literally 5 more days. It's free to download. So hop into the Play Store, even if that means you have to stop and skip the video. It's not my game, I just really want you to play something good. So yeah, if you like something like Portal, I mean forget Portal, that game is nothing compared to this one. It's a first-person puzzle and a bit of an obstacle-based adventure, everything put together. Anyway, if that wasn't enough, here's 10 more games that was released just these past few days. Happy Christmas.
Uncle Sam does the best he